Hey everybody, welcome to the Life Practice PBL Facebook live chat. Tonight's topic's all about keeping kids motivated in a project-based learning classroom, because if we can keep them motivated, we can keep them learning. So let's go ahead and get started. Get some adjustments here. My name, Ginger Lewman, and I'm an international keynoter, consultant, author, and teacher. The first 10 years of my career were spent trying to fit in and be a good teacher, like how I was taught to be by my teachers and in my pre-service and in-service. And the last 10 years of my career have been more devoted to doing things better. So I've spent a lot of time embracing the world that tech tools open to us and how we can use active learning like PBL and maker education to get kids active and become responsible for their own learning lives. I did this in my own school, and now I get to help teachers figure out how to do it in their schools with their kids. I love my job. So if you haven't yet, thanks for coming in. I'm saying hi to Rochelle and Jill. Go ahead, introduce yourselves in the chat right below the video here, where you are, what's your levels and topics do you teach your learners, and maybe something different. What went right for you today with your kiddos, if you're in school yet? If you want to, by the way, you don't have to do that. Lurking's okay too. I believe in being the active learners that we want our kids to be, so let's roll up our sleeves and get our hands dirty, right? So we're diving in, saying hi to Jenny and Nanette. Hey, how you doing? So we're doing this chat tonight, and actually all semester long, to help folks work with some of the bigger issues that pop up in a PBL classroom. Tonight's topic is related to last night's topic, which is all about getting kids and keeping them in the game, keeping them motivated and digging deeper into their own learning. Actually, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that all of PBL and all the topics we're going to hit all this semester are related to the topic of keeping them motivated, but, well, yeah. So we always want our kids to ask for more, right? Okay, Jill, if you missed last night, you can still see tomorrow, you can see yesterday's chat after this one if you want to. These are all archived. Jump in there. Hey, Brent. Glad to have you back from Australia. And Scott's here. And Carrie. Hi, Sue. Yay. Okay, so diving in. Share out this Facebook, by the way. Share out the Facebook and Twitter share out this video to your Facebook and Twitter friends if you want, either now or afterward. And if you haven't yet, be sure to like the Life Practice PBL Facebook page too, so you can keep up with your next scheduled chat, which is, by the way, next week. And the topic is, what's the difference between PBL and just doing projects? Invite your friends. So, as we talked yesterday, a lot of the trick to engagement is finding that balance between tasty fun and nutritious content. We also talked about keeping and sustaining that meaningful sense of urgency. If you didn't see yesterday's video, be sure to pick it up. You can find it on the Facebook page. I want to take that concept a little farther than that today. What else can we do to keep kids hungry, keep them popping up out of bed in the morning and ready to come to school, to keep them up late at night following that trail of that thing they just gotta know, that piece of work that they signed themselves, right? I also want to hear from you all about this. Rochelle's in it. Thanks, guys, for putting that in there. And Aaron, glad to have you, man. Okay. What is it you do to keep your kids working and digging into the content without feeling like it's just something we have to do because we're in school? Feel free to drop your own thoughts and your own questions and ideas here too. I mean, again, I know I'm not the only practicing PBLer here in this room, so let's learn together, right? Oh wait, I didn't say. Everybody who participates in the chat below gets their name put into the giveaway for my new book called Lessons for Life Practice Learning. And tonight, I remembered to bring it home. Here it is. About 216 pages and color pictures, and it's stories. It's me. It's the stuff I've been working on. Worked on the book for about 5 years, and kind of proud of what's going on. So if you're impatient to get more of these quicker, just get the book. It's all moving forward. So. And if you share the video on your page all the way up to August 31st, even if you come in a couple of days late, you'll get your name entered again. So, awesome. All right. Hey, Cindy. So, back to the question. How do we keep them motivated all through the PBL unit, all throughout the year? As I started making this list for tonight, I realized that these pieces work outside the PBL classroom too. It's just, I think, PBL gives us that framework and wiggle room to get this going. At least I think so, more than just a straightforward teacher-centered, teacher-delivered classroom. So if you're just dabbling in PBL, please get ready to take some notes. And if you're already deep in PBL, be sure to add your own thoughts and ideas too. And it's okay, encouraged even, to take notes in the comments. It provides good thinking fodder for other participants, and it helps me to see what's stinking with you. So, y'all, I'm not doing these for me, truthfully. I'd rather be sprawled out on the sofa with my husband at 8 p.m. at night. So, I have identified 4 pieces I want to intentionally create for my kids, no matter who they are, no matter what age they are, or where they come from. None of these pieces are new. I know we've thought about them and talked about them a lot as educators. Ownership, excitement, reflections on personal growth, and having a sense of belonging. But I think sometimes we as teachers kind of play the role of the Greek chorus where we just all say those things, say those words, these concepts together, but very few of us take a moment to dissect these concepts and how to ensure that they really are something that a daggum busy teacher can actually do. So let's do that today. Let's get granular on what each of these means in motivating kids to be in school, to be in our classrooms, and become forever learners. So let's go with, see, working with the backwards again. Ownership. See, to me, this is backwards. To you guys, you can read it. So, ownership. The idea that a kid feels that they own a piece of the lesson, a piece of the learning, a piece of the classroom environment, right? To me, the quickest and maybe the only way, I think, for a kid to actually feel and take ownership, and I think they have to feel ownership before they can decide to actually reach out and take ownership eventually. I mean, that's a pretty courageous thing to do outside of school where kids are told what to, when to, how to at every single turn. So the only way for a kid to develop a sense of ownership is to be able to have a voice and choice of what's going on. What is it that kids get to pick in their lives anyway? Anything meaningful? And kids who come from hard lives, hard backgrounds, where exactly do they get to make choices? Nowhere. They're told to do this, be that way, do it like this, for all kids, but especially these kids from hard backgrounds, they must be given authentic choices in their day. So let's get even more granular. Back to school time. Is your classroom perfect when kids walk in? Cool. Lots of work, isn't it? Now tell me, if you've made it finished and perfect before the kids actually arrive, where exactly do I, as a student, get to make a space for me? You made things beautiful, so you made beautiful spaces for kids. What about me, as a human with feelings and thoughts and currently a gagged voice? I know that's harsh. Y'all been working hard on your back to school rooms, but I'm just asking. How about when to pee? How about where to sit? How about when or how I get to do my homework? How about how to turn in my work? How about how to ask for help? How about how to express my dissatisfaction or my frustration or my fear? If kids don't have a voice in daily little things, my gosh, they learn they also don't have a voice in the big things. And I wonder why the bully kids don't talk to us. Yeah. We don't mean to gag them, but PBL allows us a framework, a structure for helping kids to learn to use their voices without breaking our eardrums from a lack of practice, right? Whew, told you. That's one. I'm going to be good today. I'm going to be good. This is important, y'all. Number two. Excitement, right? Let's have fun with this excitement. I want a little unpredictability in the routine. I know, again, all my pre-service and much of my in-service tells me that kids want routine. They want predictability. Have you been told the same thing? But in my experience, and that may not be quite as true as, again, we as the Greek chorus have been singing together. Maybe it's not just my experience, but also looking at all the things targeted to kids today. They crave a little something different, a little unpredictability. A great way to do this without scaring kids or making them uncomfortable with the predictability is with fun and laughing. So let's go back to Comedy 101. What makes a joke funny? Why do we laugh at jokes? Because the punchline actually takes us to a place where our mind wasn't going, something unexpected, and we laugh. Unpredictability. Fun and friendly unpredictability, right? Fun and laughing. And it's not just the teacher laughing, not just the good kids laughing. If you can get your tough kids laughing, and I mean genuinely laughing in a good way, not at people, but with the enjoyment of some sort of situation, you've won their hearts and you got them now, right? There's a shared bond that happens when people laugh together. It's sacred. It's a shared space, a moment together. And it matters. It's joy. It's shared joy. If I can create that, if I can get them to create that, it's a win. But it's hard. We have to get to know our kids, know them beyond just the data, know what they love, no matter how silly it seems, deeply. And I'm not talking about a stand-up routine. I'm not talking about telling jokes, although you could in some situations. I'm talking about how we have to be vulnerable in front of them. You have a hard kid? Figure out a way to get them to laugh, to share joy with you, and then with others. I promise life will never be the same with that kid. Right? Yes. Good stuff, Scott. Life is unpredictable. Okay, let's go on. Number 3. Am I ready for this one? Nope. I already turned it. Here we go. I'm so bad with this. I'm much better with a clicker where I don't have to shuffle things. Okay. Belonging. Right? Belonging, the sense that this is where I should be, where you should be, where I matter, where this place is right. Again, the kids from the hard places, and I'm not just talking poverty here, y'all. I'm talking about kids of rich families who ignore them, of gifted kids who constantly feel out of place with their aged peers. I'm talking about the weird kids. I'm talking about the good kids who aren't ever any trouble and end up getting ignored because they're just good. Right? I'm talking about all kids. Finding their strengths and their talents matters. Letting them see that we see them. We see them through all the veils, the covers, and the BS they pile up to protect themselves. I'm definitely talking middle school and high school here. We see them. Too much of school is spent telling kids where they're wrong, where they're slow, where they're weak and stupid. And I mean, I get that. I get that we're teachers. I mean, that's our job, is to show them where they're wrong, where they need some help. But I don't know about you. My boss tells me every single day where I'm wrong, slow, weak, and stupid. And again, multiple times during my day, as kids get. And we wonder, my kids are, like Kevin Honeycutt says, wearing black and flipping us off in the parking lot. So, we not only have to see them and let them see us see them, we must help them learn to see other strengths and talents, to see and recognize and support each other. And again, not all kids are gifted. No, they're not. But all kids, and I mean all kids, have strengths and talents. Those kids may not smell like school, but they're there. And PBL can allow us to help those kids bring those strengths to the table. In fact, with PBL, we have to have everyone's strengths. We don't have time to mess around because, man, people are going to die if we don't save the planet from this asteroid that's coming, right? We need each other. So other things to help kids feel that they belong to a greater community, we want kids to know that we and their peers have their backs with their weaknesses. Because when we see strengths, we'll also begin to have the courage to admit weaknesses. And what do you know? You're not great here, but I am. And I'm not great there, but you are. And all of a sudden, we're actually working together. Not just working in a group, because those two things aren't the same thing. Helping kids develop that sense of belonging is helping them see that others value them, even if they're not perfect. And when kids look at each other that way, they belong in our classrooms. They belong in our schools. And pretty soon, they stop flipping us off in the parking lot, and they want to be at school. So lastly, here it is. Let's talk about reflecting on personal growth, or that fourth piece of keeping kids motivated and coming back for more. Story time. I used to work with a teacher regularly who I collaborated with over distance. She was in another state. And while I loved working with her and her kids, I felt terrible most times because the work her kids did was always far superior to the work my kids did. And I thought, there must be something wrong with my kids. Year after year, we worked together, and I thought there was something wrong with my kids. So one time we were in the process of finalizing a project our two classes were working on together. We were connecting over video conferencing, and she made a reference to almost being finished editing her kids' videos for them. Wait, what? She was editing her kids' videos for them? For real? No wonder her kids' work looked so much better than mine. And then I felt sad. I felt sad for her kids. You see, they never got to see their improvements, their growth. To them, their work was always stellar. My kids produced, well, not crap, right? But it wasn't great stuff yet, especially at the beginning of the year. But by the end of the year, well, it was still kids stuff, but it was way better than it had been. And we took time to look at it. We took time to look at them, at their growth, and we celebrated it. And we took the time to both literally and figuratively pat each other on the back for our growth, academically, skill-wise, and as human beings working together. Remember when you used to do that thing? Oh man, that was horrible, but you don't do that anymore. That's awesome. And those are the sorts of things. So, you see, if we want kids to stay motivated to learn, to come to school, and to try, we have to help instill a sense of accomplishment. Help them recognize their own growth and journey over time. We want them to see that the work that they thought was good was actually not so awesome. And that they are getting better, and with that effort, it'll always get better. My husband works at a place, well, he's over here behind the door. He works at a place where he supervises prison inmates. It's a type of work release situation. It's not really work release, but close enough. These inmates get paid nothing, like, I don't know, 8 cents a day or something. And the work they do with my husband is dirty, and it's hard, and it's humbling. And my husband also gets paid better than the inmates, but it's still a very humble wage. Very humble. But at the end of the day, when they've done a crazy kick-butt job faster and better than even my husband expected, and believe me, he has high expectations, he makes the guys stop and look back at all they've done. And they recognize how hard it was, and how they were able to do that in such a short amount of time. And every single time, they are amazed, they're astounded, and they congratulate themselves, and they're proud of that hard, dirty, sweaty, and humbling work that they've done for 8 flippin' cents. And they're proud. And they can't wait to go back the next day. We have to pause, and we have to help our kids, help ourselves see that work, that hard work. It's absolutely worth it. It can be so fun if only we let it. But ownership, excitement, belonging, recognizing personal growth, it doesn't just happen when you're delivering teacher-driven content. It must grow in the fertile soil, right, of a student-driven classroom. And that's what PBL is. We get the structures in place. We build it, we launch it, we're working, I'm doing this, the kids are doing that, making sure the research, right, we're presenting, we're feedback. Once we get those structures in place, this is the sort of thing that we do. We get them coming back for more by treating them with human dignity. So, as we come to the end, friends and family, if you found anything valuable here today, please share this video out. I can't wait to go back and see what you guys, what got you, what some of these things rang true with you. Remember, anybody can watch it later too. So if you want to share this out with folks, you're welcome to. And if you're commenting here, leaving notes, thank you. You get your name put into the giveaway for the new book, and Lessons for Life Practice Learning. And everybody who shares the video on your own page all the way up to August 31st, get your name entered again. And we're giving away 4 books this month. So if you haven't yet, be sure to like the Life Practice PBL Facebook page so you can be notified of the next Facebook live chat. It's August 29th, Monday, talking about the difference between PBL and just doing projects. Some of us, I still need to ask myself, is this a project or am I doing PBL? I think it's good to keep checking back. So remember, if you're looking for more tips and tricks, you got the book, and the book's so new, it hasn't even heard of Pokemon Go yet, man. That is new. So thanks for being here with us tonight. Appreciate you so much, and I hope to see y'all again next week. Thank you.